Is it that we're just becoming numb to it? Are we becoming accustomed to it? Is it becoming normalized in the United States, or do people just not care as much because of who he was? Lorenzo was a father of 3 on his way to work when ICE shot him to death in Houston this week. It just didn't seem to ruffle people's feathers. It didn't seem to make the headlines. There doesn't seem to be the massive levels of public outrage that there were when ICE murdered Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Lorenzo did nothing wrong, and he was shot to death by the violent paramilitary, lawless paramilitary known as Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Now, as has been the case over and over and over again in the last year and a half, whatever statement, whatever comes out of the mouth of DHS and ICE, you know is going to be complete and absolute bullshit. So they initially said that Lorenzo, who was shot to death by ICE agents at 7 a.m. while he was on his way to work, was attempting to evade arrest, and that he was part of a targeted enforcement operation. None of that is true. ICE lies. They lie and lie and lie. Remember Miramar Martinez last year? How they said that she tried to ram ICE agents with her car. Remember, it was all over the headlines that it was some like violent Antifa, whatever, was trying to take down. No, none of that was true. They shot her 6 times, and they lied in their press release to try to cover up what happened. She didn't die, so they tried to charge her. It all came out in court. All of the charges were dismissed. This has happened over and over and over again. ICE victimizes people, shoots people, kills people, and then tries to blame them for their murder when they are entirely blameless. Remember when Jonathan Ross murdered Renee Good in Minnesota, and then DHS tried to claim that she was trying to ram him with his car and he was hospitalized? We now know he never went to the hospital. We all saw the footage. We know that it was a complete fabrication. Over and over and over again, they lie to try and cover up the murders and assaults of people in this country. Violent paramilitary agents, entirely out of control, with weapons, are assaulting and murdering people over and over and over again in this country. Now, I do want to say the good people of Houston have been out in the streets protesting, but like for the rest of us, when is enough enough? How many more innocent people need to be murdered by ICE before we decide that we have had enough of this? It's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. These are untrained, unskilled, out of control men who have deadly weapons, and they have an agenda. They have an agenda, which is to commit an ethnic cleansing on behalf of Stephen Miller and Donald Trump, and to use our tax dollars to do it.
Houston! ICE out of Houston! ICE out of Texas! ICE out of Texas! ICE out of everywhere! ICE out of everywhere! ICE out of everywhere! ICE out of everywhere! ICE out of everywhere!
Now, just a little bit ago, CNN reported that ICE is now admitting that Lorenzo was not the target of one of their operations, but they murdered him in the street anyway. And even if he had been, that is not a justification for gunning somebody down in the street. All of this is not normal. It is not okay. We cannot allow it to we cannot allow ourselves to become numb. How many more people have to be murdered before we decide that enough is enough? Now, the president of Mexico has come out, because Lorenzo was a Mexican national, has come out saying that she will seek relief in the international court. So ICE murdered Lorenzo at about 7 a.m. and his son, Ronaldo, found out that something bad had happened to his dad with ICE. And by about 8:30 a.m., after hearing nothing and searching for his dad at his work site, according to CNN, Ronaldo came across a Facebook post about ICE activity. And he watched a video that had been put up on social media. He said, "I recognized him immediately, not from his appearance, but from his voice crying for help as he lay on the street bleeding out." The video shows a wounded man lying face down, moaning in pain, next to a white SUV parked near a barbershop as federal agents kneel over him while on the phone. The right side of his stomach is bleeding, and you can hear him screaming for help, screaming that he was in pain, saying, "Help me, they shot me." Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you saw that video of your family member, of your father, on social media, and this is how you found out that he was gunned down in the street because he was brown? Like, that's the only reason that this happened. No, the other reason that this happened is because Donald Trump and his regime are carrying out an ethnic cleansing, and Republicans have funded it to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. This is happening because Republicans have funded and empowered it because they want this. His son Ronaldo said he did not deserve to be reduced to a headline of, quote, Mexican man shot and killed by ICE. He deserved to live a quiet life as Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, a husband, a father, and a job creator for dozens of men who also wanted the American dream.
Grew up in the East End, and seeing someone who looks like my dad be killed in cold blood on the street was really hard to see. This area is so proud to be Mexican, Hispanic, and I don't think that, this can't happen. This is terrible.
It's important to note that about 4 hours ago, Human Rights Watch called for an independent investigation into this killing. They were also concerned at the fact that DHS is using this same line, quote, Salgado weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run over an ICE law enforcement officer who then fatally shot him. Same line they used for Renee Good, same line they used for Miramar Martinez, same line they used for Silverio Gonzalez in Chicago. All of those were disproved the minute they got footage. The minute the courts got footage, the minute we saw what really happened, it's all lies, it's all bullshit. Nothing that comes out from this regime is credible. It's worse than not credible. They're blaming the people that they murder in the streets. They are fabricating lies about the people that they murder in the streets to try to justify what they have done, to try and protect the men who wear masks, who are shooting these folks down in the street. They're trying to give cover for them so that they never face justice, never face accountability. Where's Jonathan Ross? Still working for Customs and Border Patrol. Now, Mother Jones has a really good piece out I encourage you to go read, talking about all of these folks who have been shot in the street by ICE and Customs and Border Patrol, and all of the same narrative, this same story that they're using of, oh, this person tried to ram an agent with their vehicle, therefore the homicide is justified, the murder is justified. And then the footage comes back and says it's all false, they're all lying, and then they never face any consequences. Mother Jones talks about how this narrative is actually one that law enforcement agencies use frequently to justify fatally shooting unarmed motorists. A New York Times investigation found that U.S. police officers have killed more than 400 unarmed drivers between 2015 and 2021. In just a handful of years, police officers in the U.S. have killed 400 people. In many of those cases, the officers involved said they fired into the vehicle because the vehicle itself was being used as a weapon. Do we not remember less than 2 weeks ago, 1-year-old Cohen Wiley was shot to death by a police officer in Mississippi who fired into the vehicle, striking the 1-year-old in the chest and killing him. This is not a problem unique to DHS. DHS is just taking a play from the cops' playbook. They're just following the script, the actions, the justification that police have been using for years and years and are still using as little as 2 weeks ago. It's also not new for ICE. According to this Mother Jones piece, journalist Lila Hassan identified 18 ICE shootings that involved a moving vehicle between 2015 and 2021. Over that same period, public records show ICE agents shooting at least 59 people and killing at least 23. Guess how many indictments for ICE officers resulted from those fatal shootings? 0. As Mother Jones says, since that study was conducted, ICE's budget has ballooned by tens of billions of dollars thanks to Republicans, and its internal oversight offices have been completely gutted, and the killings have not stopped. When will we have had enough? When have we had enough of this, you guys? What they are doing to immigrants in this country, they want to be able to do to you. Donald Trump wants a fully funded, unhinged, out of control, violent paramilitary force able to gun you down in the street, lie on your name, lie about the conditions under which they murdered you, blame you for their killings, and get away with it. We can already see there have been no prosecutions for ICE agents. What has happened? What has happened to the agents who killed Renee Good, and Alex Preddy? What has happened to the agent who shot Miramar Martinez 6 times? What has happened to the agents who have shot all of these other individuals in the last year and a half? Ruben Ray Martinez, Carlito Ricardo Parias, and more. Nothing has happened to the men who have shot them. This will keep happening until we stop it. This is what they want to happen. It will keep happening until we stop it.